Hello and welcome to the first series in my episode of Bitcoin. I'm not quite sure where this channel that I'm doing is going to go. I've got lots of things that I enjoy and things I'd like to share and teach and be taught and build a community of people that are interested in similar things. But for now, one of the things that I have a passion for is the way that the economic system that we live in is controlled by big fish. Fish that we as people have no power over. And therefore our money, which is used to keep us safe and give us our food and pay for our house and families, is sometimes manipulated to the point where it's not worth as much as perhaps we want it to be. So cryptocurrency is about, and it has many uses and lots of different cryptocurrencies, lots of different things that they do. And I would love to go into in the future different coins, what they all do, and share some of my gems with you along my journey, which I've been in now for a number of years, and thoroughly enjoy it. So yeah, for now, if like to take a look at the screen, hopefully you can see it. According to my screen, you can see it, but we'll see. So one of the things that really I think is really key and important is in 2017, Bitcoin had a really big correction. It went up to nearly $20,000. In fact, it just blew off on some exchanges, just over $20,000, and then came crashing down to the $3,000 mark. And then we stayed in a bear market for quite a long time, and it seemed like forever. Some people were saying Bitcoin was going to go down to zero, and all these people that bought in at 20,000 were going to lose all their money. Other people had a lot of confidence in it, and quite rightly so. But if those people would have known what I'm about to show you, they perhaps wouldn't have bought Bitcoin at that point. So instead of going back to 2017, I'll just show you what's been happening over the last 6 weeks or so. So yeah, if we look at the screen here, if I just zoom in, I don't actually have an account with TradingView at the minute. I've not been with them for a little while, so the adverts might come up. But for now, I've got this tool here called the RSI, Relative Strength Index, and it is what it says on the tin. It's the relative strength index, or you could say the relative strength catalog, the relative strength chart, but they've chose to call it index. That's fine, but that's what it is. It's the relative strength. So if we look at, and it's the strength of the coin or token or asset class that you're looking at, and at the minute we're looking at Bitcoin. So let me show you this. So up here, just in this green here, if I hover over, say, this candle here, that tells us that you got the low and the high of that day. But sorry, here you got the high, you got the low, and you got the close. But if we go to, say, the highest point here, it says that the high, which is just here, says that the high was $61,112. But if you look at the RSI, we're looking at this number here. Yeah, so I'm going to go back to this candle, and you look at the RSI, it says 71.09. Pretty cool. Okay. Then the price went all the way up, and the price went up to, say, this one. Price went up to 53,282. So that's quite a lot. But look at the RSI. The RSI is now down to 68. So the RSI was at 71. Now the RSI has gone down to 68, but the price of Bitcoin has shot up. And again, over here, the price, the high was 58,537, and the RSI was up at 80. So the RSI went from 80, then it went down to 71, then it went down to 68, and the price went bum bum bum. So if we get a trend line from here, you notice that the price was going up, but the price was going up, but look, the strength was going down. I mean, one time, okay, here, one time, you think, okay, something could be a aloof here, not too clever. On the third time, that's when you can start to get worried that, hang on, there's a definite divergence here, there's a definite opposite. And at that point there, would have been a wise idea for you to turn around and go, hang on, 3 occasions now this has happened. And then if we look at the MACD, the histogram, which is these little lines here, that also, if we go to the high, it went from the high just here, so just there of that green, then it went down to the peak of that green, then it went down to this little bit of green just here. So the histogram of the MACD went down as the price went up, the relative strength went down as the price went up. So lots of telltale signs here that the strength is running out. And if I go to the indicators and bring up the volume, no doubt the volume will be decreasing at the time of big volume here, volume was increasing, and then it all started shooting down as traders got in, and now the volume's just starting to pick back up again, as we've come to this point here. So the volume's picking up as people are starting to come out of it or trade. So yeah, that's one thing that you need to consider. I've got the Bollinger Bands on there, and they don't need to be on for now, so we'll take them off just to keep everything clean. So that brings the point then that if on the third touch of this bearish divergence and this price action going down, if on the third touch it's like, okay, well, I'm going to take my money out of it, maybe move it over to USDC or Tether or DAI or another stable coin of your choice. That's a crypto coin that's tethered to the dollar. The reason why we don't put it into Great British Pound or US dollars is because to transfer it from dollars into crypto, normally 6%, 7% on some exchanges, and then to convert it back over to the pound, you're coming out of crypto, and then when you want to go back in again, you're putting in another 6 or 7%. So once you're in crypto, it's best to stay in crypto. So to move it over to into a dollar coin as opposed to dollar, then you're going to save money on fees when you go back in. So at what point should you go back in? At what point should you have gone back in during this massive downtrend that lasted and is continuing at the moment, seems to be, over this period? Well, if we go from the high point, where I said that would have been the third touch and time perhaps to get out, and then we measure to the lowest point, you've got 55% drop. So if you'd have had 2 Bitcoins and you'd have moved it over, you would have made yourself a whole Bitcoin on that move. That's assuming that you got in right at that bottom point there, and that could have been possible if you'd have had the courage, the guts, the balls to do it. If I bring that down to where it actually bottomed out, you'll see that it touched just here, it touched just here, it's gone up, and it came down and it's touched just here again, which is telling us that this 28889 or thereabouts is a really strong resistance. It didn't break it there, it came up, it didn't break it there. We've got this big dump where everyone's talking about China's gonna ban crypto, which they already announced in 2017. So that was just a waste of time. You got Tesla and Elon Musk turning around and tweeting and saying, "Oh, we're not going in. It's not healthy for the environment," and giving all different reasons, like he doesn't really know what he was doing in the first place. Yet he's a tech god. So yeah. And then what was the other one? There was what was the other one? Was another thing, wasn't there, that happened all at the same time? It was the SEC, was it? So the ban, Tesla. Can't remember what the other one was. But yeah, so it ended up dropping down. So no doubt I'm not the only person that you've looked at on YouTube, especially if this is me in my first video. There are people like Da Vinci, Crypto, Carl from the Moon, Crypto Jack, Lark, Rocky Outcrop, Trade Spotting, all these individuals that speak about dollar cost averaging occasionally. And what does that mean? What does dollar cost averaging mean? Well, it means that you put in a certain amount on a regular basis or consistently. It doesn't have to be forever. Just pick a certain amount of time, turn around and say, well, I've got this amount of money, and over this amount of time, I'm going to put in this money. Might be £20 a week, it might be £20 a month, it might be £200 a day, whatever it is, whatever your budget is. But if you'd have come out at this point here and turn around and say, well, I'm taking all my profits out now because I can see this bearish divergence playing. This is the third time it's happened. I'm getting worried. I'm coming out. So you move it over into Tether. Well, dollar cost averaging, you perhaps turn around and go, well, retracement's normally 20-30% normally before it goes back up again. So maybe 10% down, maybe $5,000 down. You put in 20% of your whatever you've taken out. Then as it comes down again, you put in 20%, and then it's starting to go up. It's going up. The money's going up. But as it's going up, this is not giving as much encouragement that the price is going up. So you might put some in, you might not, you might just hold, you might put it all in. But even if you have put it all in and then it drops back down here, you've still made an increase of 20% of your of 40%, which is 15%. Maths isn't my strong point, but you still make money. But if you haven't put it in and you're shrewd, then you would have carried on being able to dollar cost average on the way down. If you look at the MACD was all during this period here, even to the point here, really, when we had this big dip on this day here, which was, let me just get rid of this, which was on the 12th of May, you see that the MACD continued to go red on the histogram here, not showing a good sign. So until the histogram kind of starts changing color and going the opposite way and we get a crossover, then you can start turning around and saying, okay, it's looking a little bit better now. And that's what it's doing. In fact, it's coming over now, ready to cross over green. Maybe we get a bounce. I've got this trend line here, which I've had in for a little while. And just based on that, so when it did start to drop, I just continued that trend line there, and it did, and it has continued to work. So trend lines are really important. And good to have in place, and you can always move them. Your chart, that's another thing, is your own chart, so to customize it exactly how you want to customize it. So taking time, spending a few days going around buttons, and if you see a trader or a YouTuber doing something and you think, how did they do that, Google it. Message me, go down onto it and message me. How do these YouTubers do this? What does this mean? What does that mean? Tony, can you make a video? So yeah, and that's called divergence, where the price and the strength is divergent within itself. And you can also have it the other way around, where if the price is going down but the strength is going up, then you can say, hang on a minute, this is great, good time to buy. and that's what we're looking for at the moment. We're looking for bullish divergence, which is a little more difficult to spot, because, and that's why they call it hidden bullish divergence. And that is a topic for another time, because this for now is just a test video to see if my camera and my sound system is working, as this is the first time I've ever done a video. So hopefully that wasn't all a waste of time. This may very well go onto YouTube, or it might just get deleted, but it was worth a shot, and I'll probably have a little bit of a giggle looking back and watching myself make a fool. Yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna sign out now and say thank you for listening, and like, subscribe, ask me questions, comment, and I will hopefully speak to some of you on the Discord, which I am about to open up. Okay, adios.